Thank you, Lars. And Lars, I might use my 3 minutes for a back and forth with the Minister, if that's okay, as was the practice last week. Minister, I know you're frustrated about the delay in the vaccine rollout, and I think you're being unfairly criticised for some of those delays. I know that you and other colleagues in the government have been speaking to companies and to other countries about other avenues for securing additional vaccine supply. I know you've been doing that even since last week, and I think that proactivity is very welcome. I think it's probably prudent, though, to hedge against further delays. And I wonder in that regard, in relation to Sputnik 5, the Russian vaccine, it's likely to be approved by the EMA if it's submitted for approval. The German authorities have spoken tacitly in favour of it. Studies in medical journals show that it's actually very effective, and some EU countries are already using it. So in advance of a potential or likely approval by the EMA of Sputnik 5, are we doing anything, either ourselves or in the EU, in terms of putting in place advanced manufacturing agreements or advanced procurement agreements, as we did with previous vaccines? And if we aren't, is that something you'd suggest? And then just to bring to your attention as well, and to make you aware, that Senator Buttimer and myself have proposed that the EU Ombudsman come before the new Ombudsman and Petitions Committee to answer on her work investigating into how the EU has handled the COVID pandemic and vaccine rollout to date. Thank you.
How much time have I got, Laskin Corlin? A minute. Can I thank Deputy Murphy for his questions? As the Deputy will be aware, the European Medicines Agency is looking at Sputnik and is conducting a rolling review. What is normal practice then is that the advance purchase agreements can be put in place. So, for example, we have 7 APAs in place right now, 3 for authorised vaccines, 1 for a vaccine we hope will be authorised today, and 3 for vaccines that have not yet been authorised. Exactly the same process can be put in place for Sputnik. But I would just draw the Deputy's attention to a comment from the Irish Times European correspondent yesterday, where she said the Italian factory announced for the production site for Russia's Sputnik vaccine for overseas orders is a small business that has never made vaccines and is not authorised by the Italian Medicines Agency. So all I'd say is we need to be absolutely sure via the European Medicines Agency and then via our own regulatory authorities as well, that if we do enter into these APAs, that we are absolutely convinced that all vaccines meet the same very, very, very high safety and efficacy standards.
Deputy Murphy, you have 13 seconds.
Thank you, Lars. But just to say, or to ask Minister, sorry, if you would propose that we actually do that work. I mean, obviously we wouldn't use a vaccine unless it had been approved by the EMA. I agree with your point on that. You made it well last week. So if we might actually make that proposal.
You can answer it later, maybe, Minister.